Lee Phillips here. I want to talk to single people for a minute. Everybody comes to me that's single and says, okay, you've talked about asset protection. I'm a single person. How do I protect my assets? And I have to say, as a matter of fact, as a single person, you've got a lot fewer opportunities or techniques that you can use in order to do your asset protection. Basically, asset protection boils down to, I don't own it, you can't get it. Nah. Well, as a single, who else do we have own it? If I'm married and have kids and all that sort of stuff, then I can isolate assets with my spouse. I can isolate I can isolate assets with my children so that they get the benefit of it. The object there is to make it so they get the benefit but can't control it. So I can isolate assets under different ownership. But if I'm a single, I don't have all of those options. So what does a single do? Your first line of defense in asset protection, and I've done another YouTube video on this one, is insurance. Maybe you're going to have to spend a little bit more on insurance. And the fact of the matter is, 99% of the cases that go to court, they settle for the insurance. And if you've got reasonable insurance, they're usually happy to settle for the reasonable insurance, and the insurance company will take care of it, and you don't have to hire the lawyer. The insurance company hires the lawyer, and it works out pretty good. But let's assume you still have assets that you want to protect. The best way to do it would probably be using an LLC, because an LLC will protect you from what happens in the company. That's the charging order protection. The company could be a real estate investment property. It could protect you from what happens inside the rental unit to the tenant. Additionally, though, it protects the assets in the LLC from what happens to you. That's called the charging order protection, and we have lots of YouTubes on these sorts of things. But that gives you kind of a pocket that you kind of don't own, because in the charging order protection, yeah, you own the company, but they can't get to the assets of the company. So it gives you a pocket, which isn't total transfer of assets away from you, because you still kind of own it. But there are a lot of legal things that say, I don't really own it, this company owns it, and you can't get to the company through me if it's an LLC. Now, if it's a corporation, I can get your stock, I can get to your company, I can get your assets in the company. But an LLC is different. So if I have assets, and I need a business reason basically for doing this, but managing the real estate through the LLC is certainly an appropriate thing to do. Owning different assets in different pockets for asset protection, that might not be a business person or business reason for setting up the LLC, but dividing it into different estates and having different people be my partners, so to speak. And in some states, in order to get the charging order protection, you do need more than a single member in an LLC. And yes, we have those YouTube videos as well. So you can check that out. That other person could be your mom, your dad, your brother, your uncle, somebody. Your significant other, whoever it is, they can have a small interest in your LLC, and then you have a multiple member LLC. And even in the states that don't have charging order protection for single member LLCs, well, I now have a multiple member LLC. You've got to treat the guy as a member, and we go through all of that in the single versus multiple member YouTube videos. But that gives you a means of protecting assets, the LLC. You can't really use trusts because they're going to be revocable trusts, so they don't have any asset protection. The corporation isn't going to give your assets any protection. It could protect you from what happens as a result of somebody using your assets or something, but it's not going to protect your assets. So a single has substantially fewer possibilities for asset protection than a couple, standard husband-wife, him and her and her, him, doesn't matter. We've got somebody else that we can give an asset to and protect it from what happens to the doctor or the guy in the relationship that has the big asset protection problem or the liability. So as a single, you're limited as to what you can do. Insurance and probably the LLC are your two biggest possibilities. Lee Phillips talking on how singles protect their assets.